now that I finally had some time to sit down and do this recording, I wanted to walk through the styling, what was it, choices behind my game stats visualization project. So let me go ahead and first start off by removing these reports that I've already generated. Let's go ahead and do this. All right. And so let's go look at stats report or not plots. So this script went through quite a few revisions. The original version actually had a major issue. Instead of showing all of the players, it would only plot a single point that represented the average of everyone's performance. It looked neat at a glance, but it completely missed the purpose of the visualization. So after a bit of tweaking the data handling and plotting logic, I was finally able to get it to display each player's point individually. Once that happened, the graphs finally started to work out. So let me go ahead and first generate the data. Then let's go ahead and copy down these commands. Let's go into terminal. First one out. Let's enter the analysis. All right, so we have our general report. Let's go ahead and create the player specific report. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the general report here. So, with the graph that I produced, I decided to tweak it a little bit. I wanted to make it a little bit more precise than the example given to us. And so to do that, I decided to add some labels to each of the points that represented each of the players alphabetically, with the letter that was associated with them. Along with that, I changed the color to green. You're going to see in a second why I changed it to green. But yeah, and so I also added a label to the graph for all of the players. This is a graph that represents all of them. It shows the total number of plays and the rate with all of the players in mind. I was able to, what was it? You're gonna see in a second in the script itself how I was able to make the title for this based if it was for all the players or a specific player. As you see here, the bar graph also matches the example given, obviously with the color different just for a few tweaks. And so let's go ahead and look at the player specific data. So here, it also has the labels for each of the points specific to individual players. But in this case, for the report that we're making for the given player data, we have the player specified highlighted in purple, just because purple and green has a very distinct contrast. It's not hard to find it. Along with that, I also made that tick a little bit bigger, just in case you didn't get it the first time with the color. I decided to change this from the original, mainly because in the original the difference was blue and green, and you could barely tell if that was green unless you looked very carefully. So I wanted to make it very obvious which one was the focus of the data. Along with that, I also had the labels for the specific plays for that player and the rate as a percent, just in case you were trying to figure out, is that 47 plays, is that 48 plays? You have the data right up there, and you have the rate as a percent, so it's just a little bit more simple to interpret than the win rate as a what was it? A decimal. And so here I was also able to make the title specific to this player. You're going to see that in a second in the in the script. So here it would be it shows the specific statistics for player A and also the bar graph with the win rate versus difficulty for player A, which matches the data given to us. So we pass on both sections, and let's go ahead and look at the data handling and the logic for plots. So let me go ahead and collapse this. Alrighty. So, one of the things I was mostly proud of was the labels that I was able to put on the points specific for all the players or the player specified. I did that with this line here in plt.text. I shifted the label to the right point one and up 0.2. There's a big difference between how high they up and down they go and side to side just because the ranges were different. With the y-axis it was 0 to 1 and then the x-axis it was what was it 20 to around what was it 50. And so I had to adjust those accordingly just so that they um, were adjusted in similar fashion. And then for the labels, I was having an issue initially, mainly because it was showing player A, player B, and so on, and they were overlapping with the size of the label. So I decided to cut that down a little bit, still make it so that you could tell which player it was. So in this portion here, I was able to make it so that it only showed the letter associated with that player. And then I toyed with the font size a little bit. I found that 6 worked best. 8 was a little bit too big and would still have some overlap, but 6 just worked right, and you were still able to, read the letter, and it wasn't too small. You didn't need a magnifying glass. Um, Over here, here's the part of the code that shows that I changed the size for the dot specific for the player. As you saw, that purple dot was a little bit larger. I had the S set to 50 for that one, where the for general and the green ones I just set it to 20. Nothing special there. And then earlier here you can see the logic that I had specifically here, where I converted it to a percentage. And so. That way you didn't have to read it as zero point 0.6 or anything like that. It just told you straight up, oh, this is like 60% as their win rate. So just making it so that the data is more clear to whoever's looking at the graph. Um, yeah, and then let's see here. Similar story here for uh, all the users. This one just excluded the part where it had the player specific and general. This one just went for all of them in total. And so let's see here. And then here for the title, this is how I was able to make it so that the title was associated with this specific player. So I just had the what was it, this portion here. So that way, whenever you generate the data, specifically for a player, it'll, for that graph, it'll show the play count versus win rate, for example, for player A, player B, whichever one that it's associated with, it'll have it there. So you don't have to change it manually every time. It'll do it automatically for the data it provided. And for the general one, there wasn't anything fancy I had to do for that. I just had play count versus win rate for all players. It's a similar fashion for the bar graphs as well for their titles. So let's see here. Um, what else? What else? Oh yeah, and here's the section for making the bar graphs green or purple. Um, there wasn't anything special about that. I decided to go with one color throughout all of the bars on the bar graph. I didn't want to do green, yellow, red, anything like that. I felt like I needed to show a way to, other than the title, show that it was for either general players or player specific. So I just decided two different colors, which were green and purple. So, I mean, purple's my favorite color, so you're gonna see that often with this. And so, yeah, let's see here. Other than that, what else do I have to explain? So we went through the title, the analysis, and the plots. All right, I think that about wraps it up. Earlier I went ahead and removed all of the commented out sections, just so I made this look a little bit prettier. So I know that in the past I would have just left the comments in there, but I was like, hey, you know what? This is the final section. Let's go ahead and just keep it nice and neat. Not leave any old snippets of previous codes. Because this one went through a few revisions, that's for sure. Uh, it's just chasing down the issue with having that one dot for all of the players, it was a headache, but we're here, we made it, and we made a very neat graph. So there you have it. There's the bulls and cows um, data plotted and the report.